It's the AFC Championship game, and the road to a Super Bowl goes through Miami. It's the Texans and the Dolphins, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Straight ahead, a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl. And it should be a great one, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Miami Dolphins. Hello, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The postseason continuing here on EA Sports. And, man, it is electric in here, and it should be conference championship time.
I don't know about you, but my butterflies in my stomach, they have iron wings in this one. And every guy I've ever talked to has all said the same thing. This game, the conference championship game, may have more intensity than even the Super Bowl because you know what the stakes are. You're trying so hard to get to the big game that this is the one that's the real challenge.
And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And leading the charge, we get a look at their 6-year quarterback.
And we can talk all we want about football being a team game and leaning on different parts and aspects in order to get it done. And that's entirely true during the regular season. Some weeks it's the defense, the special teams, running the football. But in the playoffs, all the pressure reverts to the quarterback, and he has to play well and play at a really high level in order for his team to win.
Here we go.
They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he used his quickness to make a play.
And Pierce gets it again on second down. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Stroud is hit and the ball is loose. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
And we talked about it last week. The pressure of not just playing in the playoffs and now in the championship game as they try to close out a perfect 19-0 season. Of all the games they played, though, this year, this is far. Toughest one. If they find a way to win it, guess what the next one will be? The toughest one they played. That's what happens when you have a perfect record on the line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa on the move to his left. And that'll be incomplete with a penalty flag here on the field. And I'm not sure he was still behind the line when he let that thing go. So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
Ready.
On second down, they'll run it here. Taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain there on the play, but that all gets wiped out with a penalty.
Well, that's a setback, but all the good play callers, they just move on. They find something else in the playbook that can attack this defense, and they go right back on the offensive on this play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
20 TX. Ready.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he gets it down to the 32. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
It's been a long season, but he still looks fresh running the football. He knows his guys are one game away from a Super Bowl, so he's going to give it all he's got. And that's a heck of a run right there.
Ready, TT. 21G.
Down, they'll go to the ground attack. Devon Hamilton with the tackle.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Here's a 2nd and 5. On the ground, this is Julius Chestnut. And they'll get to him just inside the 15, even after that strong run we witnessed. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guys at the cornerback position.
And the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held them to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I'd go right at them with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
It's 1st and goal. A chance for the first points of this AFC title bout. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's going to pull his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins are on the board first here in this AFC Championship game. So a good job there, Charles, taking advantage of the short field, and they score first, punching it in on the short touchdown run.
I love the theme there, right? They didn't have to do anything big on that drive. Took advantage of where they were on the field, took it downfield, put the ball in the end zone. The only thing big on that drive, the 6 on the scoreboard.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Stroud is hit and the ball is loose. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down, second and right at a yard. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
On second down, a run by Achane. And the Dolphins are going to have a first and goal. It's some good running there. Gets him down to about the 2-yard line. Knock it on the door. They got the ball in great field position after the fumble, but this defense trying to stand tall.
They certainly are, and a lot of times after you pick up a fumble or get an interception, you have momentum on your side. You got to walk through a defense and score. Not so fast, not in this case.
They'll try to run this one in. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal. Achane will take this in for the Dolphin touchdown.
The full team is involved in this game early, aren't they? Go down the field, score on offense, take the ball away on defense, and go right back and score again. You got to like the way that's working for them.
That's exactly right. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, 2-score lead. A little bit like you at breakfast this morning. I got to get this in. You had a perfect omelet, dropped it. It's a little bit of a turnover. You went right back, though, and got that omelet and crushed it.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do.
A little worried about your hands, though. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. And now out comes Houston. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Gets through, and now an opening. Well, the stiff arm created some space initially, but he's taken down not long after.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
Pierce will try to pick it up. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Returnable now for Woodson. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And it'll be Dolphin football. Miami set to take over. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game. Could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense.
And this is caught. Touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 66 yards. And the Dolphins continue to show why it pays to... postseason as they add on to their lead. On this stage, conference championship game, every play is magnified, and that was a big play.
No doubt about it. One thing that has these guys a step away from a shot in the big game, their big play ability. They can strike from anywhere.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up. Here's Pierce on the counter, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down, and he'll get about 3 up past the 25. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Stroud on 3rd down now. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And Charles, they're really stringing these possessions and scores together early. We're still in the first quarter, but if they can score again here, look out.
Yeah, and as you taught me when we're broadcasting games, one word we're supposed to avoid, and that's blowout. But that's exactly what's going on here. Down 3 possessions just the first quarter. That goes beyond any worst-case scenario we might have thought coming into this game. And another touchdown here, that should eliminate any hopes for any type of a comeback.
Give him 30 yards there.
Well, big plays have been a hallmark of this offense all season, so there was no reason to think that it wouldn't continue here in this title game. Obviously, the magnitude of the event, not getting to them early.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And they're knocking on the door now. There's a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. 44 yards rushing now in the opening quarter of this AFC Championship game.
Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. 21-0 our score after 1. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up.
Stinger.
They'll run with Chestnut, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Julius Chestnut, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins are able to add on to their first half lead. Well, it's not too often that you say, hey, this one's going to be over by halftime. And, CD, I know our bosses probably don't want us to say that because they don't want people clicking away. But this one might be over by halftime.
And since you've already put your job on the line by actually saying it, I will co-sign and go with you because you're my partner. We don't mean to do it, but this game has been exactly as you've described. I see no hope for them going forward.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And here comes the Texans now. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Now they'll go play action here with Stroud. He'll find his mate, and he lost the football. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Over the middle, he's got Chenault. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Second catch of this AFC title game, but he's got a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
1st and 10, it's Pierce. Down to about the 45.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Stroud now on 2nd down. He finds his man, complete. That's Rhodes. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, here's Pierce. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And Stroud now to throw. Toward the sideline, intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
Sanders on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey. hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and he passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Texans on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2. Stroud looking to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Now here's Bradley Pinion now. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And they will take over 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A big play there. 57 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats, but what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Houston set to take over. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And they get to Stroud, nowhere to go, and he goes down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Throwing now is Stroud. Caught left side, here's Dell. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Let's take it inside his own 40. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend.
Hey, Watson, solo left Zion.
Tua now on 1st down. They'll let this go deep for Waddle. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jalen Waddle. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns total so far. And the Dolphins are pouring it on. What a first half he is compiling here. He's already over 100 yards receiving and now 2 touchdowns, CD.
Brandon, you know I don't like to play the game where you start projecting when you're at a certain point. But let's face it, he's off to a tremendous start. So 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. I don't think anything's out of the question right now. He's blowing up coverages. You've got to double him every snap. Otherwise, he's going to defeat you on almost every play.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. A shotgun snap to Stroud. Swings this one out wide for Pierce. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And 3rd and 8 now.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers now.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. But collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
On now to punt. Here's Bradley Pinion. Fielded at the 43. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Jalen Waddle, the speedster wide receiver, brings out this offense. He has certainly made the most of his catches so far, both of them going for touchdowns here in half number 1.
And we've never met a team that doesn't talk about getting off to a fast start and featuring guys that they want to have the ball early. We're seeing both of those come into play here. Off to an incredible start, got their feature guy going, and now everyone else should have opportunities.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground. I like the call. It looked like the right time to dial up a running back screen. But this one got disrupted right from the start and ends up falling incomplete.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
AFC title game, 2nd quarter action, 2 minutes to play. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Looking left side, and he's got a man. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone. the 20. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
No sign of Tua departing. 4th down. They're going for it. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Dolphins' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Took a pretty big risk right there going for it on 4th down, but hey, not only did they get the 1st down, forget about that, they got in the end zone.
Yeah, because normally you're just thinking, can I get enough yardage to get it past the sticks and pick up a 1st down? Instead, they go for the end zone and get it done with no margin for error. Remember, 4th down, they went for it.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for just 3, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now Stroud. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
And they get to Stroud, nowhere to go, and he goes down. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he fields it cleanly. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 46. Play action, now it's Tua. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain of 32 that time.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Oh, nifty. Well, he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and a rout is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So we come upon halftime in the AFC title game. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. As always, one half remains in the battle to see who will take home that Lamar Hunt trophy and represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. But first, time to look ahead to the NFC Championship coming up later today. And it should be a great one as well, as it's going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Atlanta Falcons. It was a strong first half from the lefty, Tua Tagovailoa. He was nothing short of amazing, throwing 4 touchdown passes to help push his guys out to a sizable halftime lead. Both these teams going through their final adjustments before the second half. Which one will lift the Lamar Hunt trophy? To find out, let's go back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. One more half to decide who takes home the Lamar Hunt trophy as we're back underway in this AFC Championship. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And I think here with the lead, CD, they have to resist that temptation to kind of looking ahead. Would you agree?
Absolutely, I would agree, because they know the stakes. They know the winner of this game goes to the Super Bowl. And this one, it's far from over. They were the better team in the first half, but they do know that they're facing their toughest opponent of the year. And they've got to be prepared for them to fight it out all the way and add a few extra wrinkles in the second half.
This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Well, they've been part of the cream of the crop in the AFC all season. It's becoming more and more evident that they're going to get a shot to play for that Super Bowl title.
The momentum has been building, and you mentioned how well they've played throughout the season. It's all come together for them, and they're really laser-focused on being that team to represent in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they have been dominant in this one. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half.
Hey, check that. No.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That's a good way to... ...17 yards and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Stroud. Over the middle, complete. It's Rhodes.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On second down, here's Pierce.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Stroud to throw it. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
This is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Miami's offense set and ready to go. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. A good pickup there, 22.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. Now they go screen. It's complete. And down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Screen at second down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
From the 38 now, here's second down and 7. Tua going to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. 62 yards. And the Dolphins just continue to roll.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Stroud working out of the gun. Throw over the middle is taken in by Dell.
And they're able to get this one. 35. To this AFC title game, but he's got a first down.
Well, still in the third quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because
he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold it.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown.
Devon Achane,
his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Dolphins get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
You get in a second and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Texans offense set to regain possession. But it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Stroud sets up the play action.
Incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that in the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
Here's Stroud.
And that is incomplete.
And you can tell just by looking at him that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
Oh, twisting away. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry. And they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
21G.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll run for it with Achane. There, that won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jalen Waddle, 54 yards. And the Dolphins extend their lead yet again. Sanders now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was finished off by a Jalen Waddle touchdown. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Houston's offense taking over again. Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing. You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Taking on the midfield logo. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10.
Jalen Waddle running out, and that means that the Dolphins ready for another drive on offense.
What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdown.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way.
69 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
And that's the kind of run you get when you know Super Bowl berth is in sight. They've got the lead. It's the second half. All those weeks of wear and tear in your body just go away. He's running with purpose now, and that's a heck of a run.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Stopped immediately there. No gain. second down. This defense, tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the second level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Wide open receiver, complete. Touchdown. A great effort there. 32 yards. And the Dolphins are pouring it on. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
AFC Championship tilt, third quarter of play. This is 2nd and 10. Play action. Stroud now. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Stroud out of the gun here. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in back. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
Only able to gain a couple there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
1 quarter remains until we crown the AFC champion. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The 2nd down throw now from Stroud. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Stroud on 3rd down now. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. Here's Bradley Pinion now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. Returnable now for Woodson. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And it'll be Dolphin football.
This offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. A run straight ahead with Achane. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 78 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Now Achane on 1st and 10. They'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Solo left Zion. 20 TX. Cover 2.
Right back to Achane on 2nd down. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. A Miami 1st down on the 14-yard pickup. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. Busting free at the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give a little run pass option.
And they're right down here looking for 6. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A
a 6-yard touchdown run.
And the Dolphins are closing in on a Super Bowl berth now as they extend their fourth-quarter lead.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
And here comes the Texans now.
And their dream of a Super Bowl berth so close 3 quarters ago, but obviously starting to slip away if it hasn't already. They need points here and in a hurry. 1st and 10, it's Stroud. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Houston set to take over. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result. That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jalen Phillips picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points, down by 4 touchdowns, haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start to finish.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt.
And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Miami set to take over. Well, CD, we are witnessing something that I never thought that I would witness. I would imagine you never thought this too. I mean, we have a team taking the field in an NFL game, and they are up by triple digits. I mean, 50 is a lot, but to get to over 100, this is just crazy.
We've seen in the history of the game of basketball a few people score 100 points individually, men and women. But we've never seen this before in NFL history. We've only seen 2 teams combine for 100 points in a game 5 times in league history. One of the greatest games ever played, well, by one of the teams anyway.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, But for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's 2nd and 7.
He's right, snow.
A run here with Chestnut. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Up the middle, Achane. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Up from the secondary to make the tackle, Jalen Ramsey. You don't see that a ton, do you? A cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
2nd and 10. Again, it's Achane. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
On the carry, it's Chestnut. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Right back to him on first down. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. 2nd and 10, Stroud to throw yet again here. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. Up front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. And the Dolphins are AFC champs as we say thanks for watching and good night, everybody.
And that'll close the books on the conference championship. For Charles Davis, myself, Brandon Gaudin, and our entire crew, we'll talk to you in 2 weeks from the Super Bowl.